pretty sure.
Yeah!
Gotta get their fast shot.
Yeah!
Gotta get their fast shot! There it is.
Hello Britball Nation, I'm Nick Wilson-Town, Editor-in-Chief here at DoubleCoverage.com, and welcome to the final Adult Power Rankings following Week 5 of the 2017 season. Before we jump into the rankings, remember that we can only keep doing what we do here at DC, bringing you 7 days a week of all things Britball with the goal of growing the British game if we have your support. We'd love if you can help us out by heading over to our GoFundMe page, but even if you can't spare a contribution right now, you can still do your part to help us grow the game by liking this video over on YouTube or giving it a share on your social media platform of choice. It takes only a couple of seconds, but if your share or retweet is the one that inspires a new young athlete to take up the game, surely then it's all been worth it. With that said, let's jump into the rankings. We said it last week, at this early stage of the year there's no room in the rankings for a team with a losing record, and so despite an impressive start to the season with their Week 3 win over conference favourites Kent, back-to-back losses see the Hornets buzz out of the top 10. Sunday's loss will have particularly stung as the margin of victory swings the head-to-head between the Exiles and London in favour of Kent. 3 games in and the Hornets will already be looking at every fixture as a must-win.
10.
The Eagles cling on to a ranking spot just barely, largely due to the fact they were the only team in Div 1 with a winning record not already in the rankings. They led for a chunk of Sunday's game despite going behind early, but were completely outmatched in the second half. Their time in the rankings is likely to be cut short if they can't recover in a big way in their next outing.
9.
The Rams needed results to go their way to keep their spot, and go their way they did. Newcastle lost and others dropped out of the rankings, giving the Rams a chance to impress and climb the ranks once more should they put in a good performance against the Doncaster Mustangs side that impressed itself on Sunday with the second half comeback.
8.
In their first home game of the year, streamed live to the Britball Nation, the Caesars continued their winning streak with possibly one of the ugliest wins so far this year. Repeated failures to capitalise on red zone possessions plagued Nottingham throughout the first half, and when the Jets broke ahead by a score, it looked like the Caesars' lack of finish on offence was going to cost them the game. As it was, however, clutch plays from defence and special teams gave the offence the ball twice inside the 2-yard line, which even their misfiring offence couldn't mess up. They're 3-0 and nominally top of the conference, but reality is they need to start cutting out mistakes and capitalising on opportunities if they want to climb higher up the ranks and keep their streak alive.
7.
A first appearance in the rankings for newcomers to Division 1, the Oxford Saints jumped right in at the number 7 spot after an emphatic win against previously undefeated Ouse Valley Eagles. The two sides were evenly matched through the first half, but something clearly clicked for the Saints in the second as they rocketed out to a 35-14 victory. Offensive weapon James Walters took snaps at near enough every offensive position for the Saints in their march to victory.
6.
The Cats tumble slightly as others climb. Will their hot streak be able to continue after their first bye weeks of the year? We'll not learn until week 7 when they take on the Glads.
5.
The Exiles avenge their loss to the Hornets and return to winning ways with a strong second half performance. Former Birmingham Lion AJ Crabb sparked the offense with a score in the second half, and the Exiles D kept the Hornets off the scoreboard throughout the third and fourth quarters.
4.
Odds are we might have seen the Titans launch themselves into number 1 spot on these rankings this weekend. However, with West Coast unable to muster a safe size of squad on Sunday morning, the game had to be unfortunately called off, delaying the Titans' much anticipated debut in their new stomping ground. As such, the Titans slide a little as others rise, though we'll see them again this coming weekend against a tough Newcastle Vikings defence, with an opportunity for the Blues to make an assault on the top 3 spot once again.
3.
Leicester lose, let's send the ranks into the top 3? Well, yes. The Falcons might have come out losers in the fixture at the weekend, but they certainly surpassed all expectations of a side that only ascended to the middle tier at the beginning of this season. The vaunted Sandwell defence, with 2 shutouts on the year so far, appeared to have no answers to the Falcons' offence early in the game, as the Leicester side shot out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter. The second half became a shootout as the two sides marched up and down the field, the Steelers drawing close only for the Falcons to extend their lead once more. As it came down to it, the Steelers held the lead in this matchup for a grand total of 18 seconds, but they included the only second that really counts, the final one.
2.
We and ahed about moving the Falcons into the number 2 spot following them nearly defeating the Steelers, but for now Sussex hold firm at number 2. Sussex take on South Wales for a second time this season on Sunday and will be looking for a more convincing victory than when these two teams last met if they want to keep their lofty place in the rankings.
1.
Sandwell survived a huge scare on Sunday with a clutch come from behind victory over Leicester, earning their number 1 spot in the rankings even if points conceded now sees them slip behind the Caesars in their own conference. However, with the two sides meeting 3 times this season, all signs point to this being just the first leg of what should be an amazing battle for the top spot in the NFC 1 South this season. Rumours abound of post-game handbags, players refusing to shake hands, all the hallmarks of a rivalry that will see sparks flying in the next 2 meetings. And that's our rankings for week 5. Where do you think we've gone wrong? Remember, we really want these rankings to be part of the conversation within the community, so if you have any thoughts on them at all, share them in the comments down below. This game's only going to grow if we as a community are pulling together to talk about our game, share one another's achievements and actively participating in the growth of the game, rather than just looking to others to get the job done and griping when it's not. But I'll hop off my soapbox and leave you as always with the hope that you play hard, play safe, and go and check out this week's scoop with a roundup of some of the great things going on this past week in the Britball Nation.